This is gonna sound really controversial, but alcohol is completely made up. Just like money. Money is also completely made up. Now I know what you might be thinking. Okay, Carolina, I have some money in my wallet. There's some alcohol in the cupboards. It's a real thing, right? It's a tangible object. How could it possibly be made up? And while yes, as a physical object, alcohol does create itself in the world when grapes drop on the ground and ferment themselves, the way that humans create it to make it so much more potent and stronger is completely a human process. But obviously, yes, it exists. It's an object. It's out there. So how is it made up? The thing is when you look at alcohol, it is just a toxic beverage in a glass. Alcohol is ethanol, and this is the same substance that we put in our gasoline, that we put in our rocket fuel, that we put in hand sanitizer. It is toxic. It is not good for humans at any amounts. And instead of thinking of it as ethanol and thinking of it for what it really is, we have this cultural shared meaning around alcohol where we attribute all these benefits to it that we as a society have all adopted and we all believe. Now, let me share a few examples with you. Okay, most people, they drink because they want to relax, right? You have a stressful day, you have a lot of work going on, and you can't wait for the 6 p.m. pour of your glass of wine. So many people obviously let loose with a glass of wine. Why wouldn't we think that it relaxes us? But what if that is completely false? What if that is completely made up, an illusion? So the science shows that yes, alcohol is a depressant and it is slowing down your central nervous system when you drink it. But your body's smarter than that, and it actually has this counteractive system. It has a process to release more stress hormones when you drink alcohol. You will release cortisol, adrenaline, dynorphin, which is this really bad chemical that actually makes you feel really ashamed and low, which is why we all don't feel that great the next day after drinking. And these are the things that are being released in your body when you drink alcohol. So from a physiological standpoint, your body is not getting relaxed when it drinks alcohol. It actually is pumping out more stress hormones into your body. And if you think about it, drinking isn't just a 20-minute experience. It's a 48-hour experience, right? 48 hours of effects that most people discount because they only count the first 20 minutes. So yeah, after a while, you can see how you have more anxiety, how you have restless sleep, how you actually have more ruminating thoughts after you drink alcohol. That's where all that stress comes in. But still, we have this idea that it relaxes us. Why would everyone believe that? Okay, they did this study once, which I think is really cool to share, where they put electrodes and were able to measure the participants' brainwaves, and they were studying them in their daily life. You know, the people were at work and they're actually pretty stressed out. The scientists could see that the brainwaves were pretty chaotic, up and down. And after that, they went to a bar or restaurant and everyone sat down and everyone ordered a drink. All of a sudden, the brainwaves smooth out. It's nice and smooth and relaxed. What happened? Well, here's the kicker. Nobody actually drank the alcohol yet. They just put the order in. So what that shows is that the brain relaxed in anticipation of the alcohol, because for so long it's held that meaning that alcohol relaxes us. So it's actually the ritual and the beginning of the ritual that really relaxed the human brain, not the ethanol itself. In fact, ethanol itself stresses a human brain out even more. And so it's so uncanny how we can attach this kind of ritual to anything that we do. You can feel relaxed when you go out and walk around for a sunset. You can feel relaxed when you close your laptop for the day and do a ritual where you change your sweater, like Mr. Rogers. You can feel relaxed with any ritual, and it's just the anticipation of that ritual that the brain is actually looking forward to finally relax. But it really goes to show that this whole cultural shared meaning we have around alcohol relaxing us was actually an illusion. It's actually false. I'll give you another one. So many people use alcohol to fall asleep, and it's actually one of the worst things you could possibly do for your sleep. It disrupts sleep, it lowers your REM sleep, and even though it might zonk you out at first, scientists have proven that the sleep that you get in that stage is really similar to the state you're in when you're in coma. You're not actually getting restorative sleep, it's coma sleep. So you're not actually getting the restorative sleep you need. And yet, so many people still use alcohol to help them sleep. So yet again, we have this example of this shared cultural meaning, this made up meaning. Alcohol is supposed to relax me, alcohol is supposed to help me sleep, but it doesn't really do that. It's all made up. Let me give you a little bit more of an intangible example. For years, I thought alcohol made me feel more confident. Now, I was pretty shy growing up. I'm an introvert as well. And in high school, when I started drinking, it felt like alcohol made me this extrovert. It felt like it made me more talkative and the life of the party. And so for years, I associated alcohol with confidence. And every time I'd go out, I couldn't wait to drink a little bit so I could feel more confident. Now here's the kicker though. Was alcohol really making me more confident? What about all the times I actually embarrassed myself? What about all the times I said something out of character that I later regretted? What about all the times that I had those wine stains on my teeth from the wet wine? None of that was shouting confidence, right? And here's even something more subtle. When I went to a networking event and I went over to the bar to grab a drink before I talked to anyone, what do you think I was slowly telling my subconscious mind? Carolina, you're not good enough. Nobody actually wants to talk to you. You have nothing interesting to say. But here, have this drink and you'll be better. It was never growing my intrinsic confidence. I was only outsourcing my confidence to a drink that was depleting it over time. I was never even building my social confidence muscle. It wasn't until I went alcohol-free that I really discovered how to socialize without it, and I built a skill that nobody can ever take away from me now, right? But for years, I believed that alcohol made me more confident. Again, it was just an illusion. I'm promising you that almost everything positive about alcohol is actually made up about society. We have attached a meaning to alcohol, a shared meaning that we all collectively believe. Now, we do the same thing about money. That's why money has value. But these little green papers don't actually have any value of itself. If you went to another planet with an alien species, it wouldn't have any value. And in fact, if aliens came to our planet today and watched everyone drinking alcohol, they'd be pretty perplexed. They'd be wondering why everyone's drinking this toxic beverage that makes your health span lower, that makes your longevity lower, produces cancer and heart disease, makes you not as intelligent, makes you cognitively impaired, all these negative side effects, and they'd be like, for what? Why are they drinking it? I don't get it. What's the point, right? And so we can see that there's so much that's made up about alcohol, and the reasons why we have so much positive beliefs about it as a culture is because of cultural context and the shared meaning we put on it. Now here's the cool thing. If you want to drink less, if you want to drink not at all, if you're sober curious and you're wanting to go alcohol free, it's imperative that you change the things you believe about alcohol. Most of it's made up anyway, right? Whether it's by society or some of your beliefs have gone on to influence what you believe about alcohol, you want to change all of it. You literally want to change all of it. I was someone who drank every single weekend. I wasn't at rock bottom when I stopped. I was definitely drinking a lot in college, but I started to taper off as I got older. But still, I wanted to drink every weekend, and I thought I loved it. But I also didn't love these side effects. And when I decided to take a break from alcohol and then eventually go alcohol free, I knew that I had to change all these subconscious beliefs about alcohol. And then, poof, the desire literally disappeared because alcohol is made up, and I changed all of the meaning I assigned to it. Watch yourself do this too. And if you want to follow along on the process, I actually shared in my book, Euphoric, Ditch Alcohol, Gain a Happier, More Confident You. You can find Euphoric in almost all bookstores. Type in Euphoric in Amazon, it'll be sent to you, and I'll share this process more in detail. But do sure to follow along this show because I'm going to be sharing about more successful people who don't drink, why successful people don't drink, more personal development tips, and career and business advice for you to really take off this year. If you like this episode, be sure to give a quick subscribe, like the video, and I'd love to hear from you if you have a comment.